In order to make the process of creating an outcomes report for PCCD more valuable to you as a provider, the Epicenter has added this new section to the template. It is designed to help you create a visually appealing data report that can be pulled out and distributed to stakeholders. Each of the graphs in the template can be customized with local data, and this video should give you a basic understanding of how to update the graphs. There may be some variation in how this feature functions across different versions of Microsoft Word. Also, the outcome report templates will differ from program to program, but overall, the general steps will be the same. So to begin, you'll want to have the template open on your desktop and also your worksheet for aggregating years 1 or 2, either this Word document template, or today we're going to work from this Excel worksheet. When you are ready to start updating data, you'll click into the figure, either right click and you'll see edit data come up and select that, or you can click into the figure, go to the menu bar, click design, and then you'll also see an edit data option. That will bring up the Excel table that underlies this figure. You'll want to go ahead and minimize this table so that you can see it and the totals column in the aggregating worksheet. You'll see that there are some yellow cells, and that indicates a place where you need to enter local data. And then you'll see some orange cells, and that is information for updating the labels on the table. As you can see here, I'm updating the data. I've pulled the totals from the totals column in the worksheet. Except for the first one, which is goal. That's a number that you're going to get from your original grant proposal, what the goal was that you set at the beginning of the program. So I've entered the actual number of youth served, and then the number of youth served who completed 9 out of 12 lessons. And you can see on the right-hand side in the orange cells that those percents have automatically updated. So we're going to take each of those percents and add them to the table, and replace, in this case, AA with 95%. And then here we'll replace BB with 83%. And then we're just going to want to take a look over, make sure we've transferred the data correctly, and as long as everything looks good, we can go ahead and close out this Excel table. And we've successfully updated our first figure in the outcome report template. So we can go ahead and try updating another figure now. We'll come here to this quality of implementation figure, right click and select edit data, pull up the table that underlies the figure, minimize it, read the instructions and note the yellow cells, position the table so that we can see the performance measure that we need the data from, and transfer our data. In this case, we need to do a little math. We know that 20 sessions were observed and 18 met minimum fidelities, so that means there were 18 meeting minimum fidelity and 2 that needed improvement. We go up here and we replace AA with the total number of lessons observed, which is 20, and we can check to make sure that the figure updated correctly and then close out this table. Throughout the document, you'll notice that there are some sections highlighted in yellow in the text. This is a visual cue that you'll want to update this information with local data. So in this case, we want to know how many youth were surveyed. So we know that 666 youth out of 898 served, or 74%, completed the pre-post survey for TND. So once we've done that, we can go down to the increases in knowledge and skills table and update the data for that. In this case, we're going to need to look at the performance measure outcomes data, table 2 in this Excel worksheet. So we'll just want to position the worksheet so that we can see the totals column for those performance measures. Bring up the table that underlies the figure, and repeat the procedure that we did for the first 2 figures. Just noting any extra instructions. For instance, here we need to replace ZZZ with the total number of youth surveyed, 666. And then we just transfer the total for each of the performance measures. In this case, for the negative consequences of drug abuse knowledge, it was 196 youth had increased knowledge. 136 youth had improved interpersonal skills, and 204 youth had improved critical thinking skills. Down here, we again want to enter the number of youth surveyed, and we see that these percentages have automatically updated. So again, we'll want to go over here and update each label. Replace AA with 29%, replace BB with 20%, and replace CC with 31%. And we've completed that figure. Now, when we're done updating all of the figures, it's important to take a look back over the template and make sure that the data looks logical. And then note any of these yellow sections where we want to make sure that we're highlighting any contextual information about our implementation. Every template will have these sections. For instance, a place to talk about the population that you've served. For TND, we might describe school population characteristics. Every template will have a section on model fidelity or quality of implementation where you can highlight strengths of your program. There will be a section on survey administration, and then finally a section on the expected long-term impact of the program, and a place that highlights any cost-benefit information that we might have about that particular model. Save any long explanations of problems or lessons learned for this more traditional narrative response section of the report. One final note, share this information. It is our hope that by incorporating this new section into the outcomes reporting process for PCCD, that we will inspire more providers to share data with stakeholders in their communities. When you communicate your impact locally, it helps build support not only for your local program, but also for the larger prevention initiative across Pennsylvania.